On this episode of Moon Monkey, we're going to be talking about Logan, directed by James Mangold.
So in this new movie, the last one with Hugh Jackman, and also the last one with Patrick Stewart as well.
Very
I've
sad.
heard. It's a bit of an end of an era, and it's also a very different kind of movie. Probably with the success of Deadpool having that higher certificate, they went.
Yeah.
Logan can have this higher certificate.
Well, this is something people have wanted to see for a long time, is the harder edge Logan from the comic books.
Yeah.
To be fair, he's a guy who has huge claws, and in most of the X-Men movies you never actually see him use them to do what they would do.
Not to the
extent that you see in this movie,
No.
where you see people being impaled and kind of heads being cut
chopped off
with
and
them.
limbs and everything.
So it's a very different type of movie, and different also in the sense a lot of people have compared this to a western.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of that kind of influence.
They also play a western on the TV a lot.
Yeah,
and quote.
They heavily reference Shane.
Yeah.
And right up to the end of the movie, it kind of that comes back again. But yeah, when the movie starts, they're in the desert in Mexico, and it's straight away you can tell that it's quite different. Even from the opening scene, there's not only the swearing and the violence, but just the type of story that they're telling, where you have Logan and Professor X as a kind of almost father-son relationship that they have in the other ones, but in this one it's more they go more in depth with that.
And this one is far more emotional, and you have that. It is the end of an era, because they're both said they're not going to do one.
It was really
again.
touching, because you got Professor X has dementia and is kind of suffering, and Logan's carrying him around and stuff, and it's this is actually quite sad, because you can tell both of them, and Logan as well is also kind of sick with his adamantium poisoning, so both of them are kind of reaching the end of the line, and you think they're not going to go on much longer. But also in the movie you have a new character, X-23, who basically forms the third part of their trilogy, and she also has similar powers to Logan, with the claws that come out of her hands and her feet, and the power to heal as well. And she's part of kind of a new group of kids who are new mutants. Yeah, in this film there's been no mutants for so many years, and there's no new ones been born, or they think, and then they find there is this group of kids. One of the things I found it's kind of strange about this film is it is a rated 15. It's more of an adult movie, but yet at the same time you had a lot of young kids, and towards the end it felt more like a kids movie even than some of the others. If that makes sense. No,
I don't know, because they're in it very briefly, and for the rest of the movie there is a kid in it, but it's not a kids movie.
No, I would have liked this if I was a kid.
Yeah.
I think this is more entertaining for kids than the other X-Men movies.
No, I think this is more of a. It's got a lot of action scenes in it, but I think they were going for more the emotional and the drama of Professor X and Logan witnessing each other at the end of their paths together.
Yeah.
And really, there's obviously parallels with Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart, because it's been 17 years since they started doing it.
Yeah.
And they're both deciding we're not going to do it anymore. This is a very kind of emotional, kind of touching movie about their relationship. And any scene with them together is really... They have really in-depth heart-to-hearts and stuff about various things, and they have lots of little funny interactions, and they're at one point they meet a family and he's like, "Oh, this is my dad," and stuff like that, and there's that kind of family feeling.
That's the thing, the script allows them to use their acting talents a lot more than the other ones, where they're just in suits fighting an evil supervillain or whatever. It gets more into it's a more human story as well, especially for Professor X, where usually his villain is Magneto, and it's on that kind of philosophical, ideological level that they're having their back and forths, whereas this is just the more human problems that most people would face, but the only difference is they're superheroes that are well, not kind of superheroes,
well, there is
more human.
There is a lot of human problem, because it's you're just caring for an almost elderly relative and stuff, and you're getting... I mean, really, it's there's loads of the Western things, and they had Shane, and it's you're being dragged into a situation that you don't want to be in anymore, and he's got to deal with all his past.
And caring for the child as well.
Yeah.
You have a real family dynamic with Professor X and Logan and the young girl, who I should say, fantastic performance from the girl who plays the new mutant. yeah, she was incredible. I thought, like,
yeah,
especially like up against like those two great actors as well, but more than held her own and had some of the most emotional scenes in it. But yeah, a lot of great moments in this. I especially liked when how they showed Professor X's abilities in this movie, which was something that we haven't really seen. Well, we had seen in other ones, but in this one somehow it felt like more realistic and more gritty and hard edged. Like when he has his kind of breakdown and everyone kind of freezes because he's altering people's minds and things. It was quite, really good how they did that, I thought. This has been getting really good reviews. I'm not a huge X-Men fan, but like I did enjoy this movie. One of the things I felt like it is very different than the other X-Men movies, and if you're not ready for that, it can be quite disorienting because it's very much a kind of gritty, grim story. It's not, and like most of it is just a road movie, and like even a lot of the scenes, like when they're in the desert, there's not a lot going on. It's not like exciting people shooting lasers out their eyes and stuff. It's very much grounded in the real world, just like you're watching a western or a crime thriller or something, rather than a superhero film. So that could maybe like distract you if you're not prepared for what the film is going to be.
I think like if you've been invested in any of the other X-Men movies, you'll still enjoy this. And even this is one of the more, like you're saying if people if they're big X-Men fans, they might not like this. I think they'll still enjoy it. But I think like if you're...
I don't know if you'd be more likely to enjoy this if you weren't an X-Men fan.
Because it's more accessible.
It's not like an X-Men
It's more accessible because it's just like the story of... It's more like a father and a son and a daughter on a road trip. It's more of a family...
Yeah, that's it.
Dealing with aging and illness.
You can even really take out the element of them being superheroes. You need to rewrite some of the plot points, but the main structure of the story you could easily have without them having the abilities, and just have them some other reason why the bad guys are after them. Like we were saying earlier, it's like a very dark story, and especially so even like when you consider the implications of it and what they were doing, and the fact that like Wolverine's been poisoned, it's like even more so depressing when you actually think about it for a little bit. But yeah, I thought like it was really like I really enjoyed the film, and there were a lot of scenes that I really liked and something that's not been done before.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was really good, and it had that almost feeling of it being full circle, and Logan as a character finally finding that family that he's kind of been searching for, and that feeling of purpose.
It was the perfect way to round off his story and Professor Xavier's story.
Yeah.
The one odd thing about this film is you don't find out what happened to the X-Men, so you kind of jump from the last X-Men film to this one, and there's none of the other X-Men, but they hint that something happened, so you're kind of left to fill in the gap there of, I wonder what that could have been.
Mm.
But that was kind of odd, because I presume this is meant to be the same universe as those films, or unless this is just meant to be an entirely different one. But I did like the fact that now they have the kind of confidence that they can do completely different types of story, and that they're finally going for like the harder rating and the more adult stories, rather than just aiming it at kids or younger people. So yeah, that was our review of Logan. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll be back soon with another review.